Meow.
The dogs even got excited on that one.
Yeah.
Welcome to Plot Off the Press. Today we're doing another Tom Cruise movie. It's our twofer. Tom Cruise and the Scott brothers. So we're doing Top Gun, a 1986 movie. It's a 6.9 out of 10 on our favorite movie database. And I got Miss Casey here with us.
Hey.
Carter.
What up?
Yeah, put your sunglasses on.
Yeah.
I was not told about this. I was not told about this event. I could join them, but my sunglasses are in the car, and it's a ways.
It's a ways. 3 miles uphill, both ways, through the snow of Texas.
I forgot I had these sunglasses, to be honest with you.
So today we're doing Top Gun, 6.9 out of 10. I would put this one very firmly in classics, right? Very, very firmly in classics. Everybody in the world needs to watch this movie at least one time, if nothing else, but to see the volleyball scene.
Noted.
No, not to see the ball. I got a note about that. Boom, quit it.
So I'm going to go ahead and kick off here. I give it a 7 out of 10. I actually do enjoy watching this movie. I haven't watched it a whole bunch of times, so it's always nice to rewatch because there's stuff in there that I've missed. I really enjoyed watching it this time. But at the same time, it's still Tom Cruise. So off to you, Mr. Carter.
Okay, all right. So in my heart, right there with my work wife, Christian Chiardi. Shout out to her.
Brady's gonna get mad.
Who?
Brady's gonna get mad.
Chiardi's / Callahan. That's her name. It's 10. It's been in our hearts. It's her favorite movie. This movie, it's one of the coolest 80s movies ever. It just goes and works. But in reality, not with my heart, we'll put some brain function in there. It's an 8.5 easily.
Okay. I will say and I didn't remember this before I rewatched it again here in the last few days. The action scenes with the plane flights are actually very good.
The movie's just it's Tony Scott's coming out party. I think he did Beverly Hills Cop before that, Beverly Hills Cop 2, which has done really well, but that made $1 bajillion for the most part, and so he just was allowed to do whatever. And I don't know if it's so much of it is him, the way he shoots the movie, or the way it's edited. Tony Scott has a way of shooting everything. Give me a bad Tony Scott movie. There are a couple out there. See if you can name me one, but this is not one.
Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3.
No, the Taking a One Pelham 1, 2, 3 is
not good. Don't act like it is. Deja Vu, that wasn't good.
They all looked really cool, though. Did they not?
Did they?
Yeah, but I'm with you on that. Well, the Unstoppable wasn't too bad, but again, he made a lot of really, really, really good movies that I could watch over and over again.
What I did love about Tony Scott, though, is that he did do the Kenny Loggins video for Danger Zone. But let's jump to Casey. Casey, what's your rating, ma'am?
I gave it a 7.5.
Okay.
The movie's cheesy, but y'all know I love cheesy. And as we already mentioned, the volleyball scene, how can you not love it?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And Val Kilmer looks good as shit in this movie, too.
Good as shit.
Why are they playing volleyball with jeans on?
Yeah, fucking weird, right?
So we skipped ahead to plot holes. Yes, why is he... Goose has a shirt on. He's
Well,
wearing
because
a
his
shirt.
body doesn't match up with the other one.
Well,
Did you
well,
take your
He
shirt
has
off? Right
sensitive
off?
nipples,
No, I wouldn't.
okay?
I wouldn't. There's nothing wrong with that. But he's got shorts on, and then Slider and Iceman have on like jams or whatever, like extra long shorts. They're
What
almost.
the fuck are jams?
Oh, you don't remember? Oh, I forget. Y'all are not jams. Okay, let me educate you on what jams are. So you remember how like someone looked like they threw up on Goose's shorts?
Yeah.
If there were goofy patterns like that, they were called jams, and so they were extra long shorts for guys that came past your knees, and they were called jams.
Oh.
Yeah, he
they
couldn't
might-
show off he was already married with children, so that's why Goose didn't wear anything.
I think he didn't because
But how do you play?
his body didn't look like the other guys.
How do
And
you
he's
play-
like, fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, yeah. Well, it's not like he gave fucking childbirth. I mean, like it's not like he had stretch marks that he didn't want to see. He just
I wouldn't have been shirtless in front of those guys
he
either.
is shirtless in the before they go into the shower scene or not shower scene before they go,
Shower scene.
before they go
I
into
missed
the.
that one.
You watch it.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Anyway, no. But how big you
I
play
know
fucking
he's sick.
volleyball in fucking 501s or 509s or 510s or 511s? You know, how Levi has all those.
So who's your favorite character?
Go me?
Sure, he didn't say name, so let's go. I mean, he's supposed to be fucking directing this
can't
shit.
see.
He's the host.
Well, I'm going a little off. I didn't do like a main character. I really like Meg Ryan in this. She's just cute, and her character's fun. And I mean, the epic line that she has, take me to bed or lose me forever. Woo! I mean, people still quote that.
Becky, show me the way home.
Yeah, I know it's a small part, but I really did like her in this, so that's mine.
And then, like again, I didn't read this, but I mean, like with everything in this movie, apparently, like Val Kilmer didn't want to do this movie. Tom Cruise was like 15th on the list for this movie.
Who was their first pick?
Oh, they're all over the place. I mean, like even John Cusack was up for this role. Emilio Estevez.
I love Emilio.
Emilio. Or is it, what is it, Night of the Rushmore? Emilio! But anyway.
Emilio Estevez would have been a good choice.
No, he'd have been fucking terrible.
So who's your favorite character?
Because Tom Cruise has already done the movie, so I mean, like, there's no.
Ooh, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen's too young. That's what they.
Who's your favorite character?
He was up for it. He was deemed too young. Cusack and.
So who's your favorite character?
Well, no, hold on. But Meg Ryan, I don't remember exactly because I didn't look this up and I didn't read the facts, but I want to say that somebody else was cast in that role and they had to drop out also, and it was just like
COVID.
fuck. It's COVID, yeah.
Yep.
80s COVID, which is AIDS.
AIDS, yeah.
AIDS.
Or cocaine.
But yeah, I believe she was just replaced in the last minute or something like that. I believe. I don't know. I mean, but
All right, so
Who's your favorite character?
okay. The best character in the movie is Maverick.
No.
Maverick.
No.
No.
Favorite.
Maverick.
Favorite character, not best.
I know, but the best character in the movie is Maverick because he's good, he's smart ass. But my favorite character is by far fucking Goose.
Yes, it's Goose.
Goose.
Everybody in the world should love Goose.
Goose is the only reason that he's not the best character is because he dies with 30 minutes left to go in the movie. If he would have lived on somehow, he would have been the best. But my favorite, it's Goose. But I mean, but what it is that Goose is my favorite character or the best character. No, excuse me. He's the best character. I apologize. He's the best character, but also the way that him and Mav interact with each other. Hey, honey, I'll see you later, honey. Whatever.
I like how you just called him Mav.
That's what Goose calls him.
I know, but it was just weird hearing you say it.
But anyway, the way they interact is awesome. It's really fun. But Goose is the best character.
All right, so I think there's a lot to choose from here. So I'm going to say this tentatively. Favorite scene, and I'm going to start with Carter.
Well, this is a difficult difficult question right here, actually, for me. Okay, so like,
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot to choose from.
okay, so look, and not to be like, just because from an emotional standpoint, and when Goose dies, very, very good scene. I mean, Tom's screaming in the ocean. They go into the flat roll. It's a really, really good scene. I mean, the Coast Guard jumps in the water. It's just, it's very emotional for me because, oh, fuck, Goose can't die. Like, nope, he's dead. At the beginning, because again, we're playing Highway to the Danger Zone. I mean, just the jets getting ready to fly off the aircraft carrier at the beginning with to the Danger Zone playing is really good. But then right after that, when they invert and they flip him the bird, and he takes a Polaroid of it, and he's like, "Oh man, I should be a fucking photographer." Like, he didn't say fucking, but
Yeah, I do like that scene.
The cheesiest but best scene, and I mean the super cheesiest scene, when he crashes and burns and sings "You Lost That Lovin' Feeling." The way, I mean, like, and don't get me wrong, no one at the bar would start going, "Don't, don't, 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 baby, baby." I mean, even Sundown comes in after.
You know what? Now next time I go to East End, I'm gonna try it.
Well, you have to get the microphone out, so that would be good.
Oh, they have like a portable microphone on Amazon.
Perfect microphone.
Girl.
But yeah, but it really, I guess that really at the end is when everyone comes together and they shoot down the Russians because it's a Cold War movie, and then on the is it the tarmac or whatever when they land, it was like, "You could be my wingman anytime." It was like, "No, you could be my wingman anytime." I mean, like, it just, I don't know, the movie, the way it's typical 80s / kind of Tony Scott and Tom Cruise movie, the same way, like at the end where at Days of Thunder, where he wins Daytona and comes back from last to first in 2 seconds, whereas in Top Gun, where it's like, I can't fly anymore, but yet all of a sudden I get my nerve back and I shoot down like 8 MiGs and they bug out, and Iceman is inept.
Stop ruining it for the rest of us, because I have a favorite scene too, and you've picked every scene.
I did not pick every scene, but okay, sorry.
The only one missing is the scene that I think that our friend here is going to bring up. Casey, what's your favorite scene?
Well, even though y'all shit on it and they had jeans on, but damn, the volleyball scene, they look good. And I think every woman in America is going to agree with me.
Every woman?
And maybe every man. I don't know.
Only men that are attracted to other men, which is fine. Again, everyone calm down on everything's PC. But
they just looked good.
I think
it was a fun scene, and it was fun. They were having a good time.
Sure.
You know, having the jeans on, but
and
still.
They wouldn't circle each other afterwards.
No, they didn't.
No, he immediately went over to the girl's house and had dinner while he was covered in sand and sweat.
Yeah.
And again, that's all there's like, if you don't mind, I'm just going to take a shower. Who shows up without a change of clothes, covered in sweat, and is like...
Well, who shows up at anyone's house and is like, I'm going to use your shower? Like, hold on. Like,
I've had that happen before, but...
well, we know the kind of people you date, though.
Hold on. Did this guy smell like an armpit?
It wasn't a guy.
Okay, sure. Never mind.
But you know the girls he dates. Ooh, crazy town.
You mean like the ones I marry?
Oh, hush.
Jesus.
All right, what's your favorite scene?
I've got to go with the ending fight sequence where they're like you said, where he has this little breakdown moment that's like, well, I can't leave Iceman, and then he jumps in and fucking, like, all of a sudden he's an ace and he's killing like eight of these MiGs and none of the, like, they all fight him one-on-one. None of them come in and try to fight him 2-3 at a time. I mean, I do like
it's like a kung fu movie. One at a time, like, you come, then I kill you, and then
yeah. I did like before he gets in there, Ice is doing all these maneuvers and stuff. You see all these MiGs kind of coming around the back of this plane. I just thought it was really shot well. It's really cool to see. Like, you don't normally see that kind of stuff in real life. And normally they don't film aerial combat like that we would be able to see. So I just thought it was really cool.
And another thing that really adds to that scene is that, I mean, and he's got a lesser role, but Merlin, Tim Robbins, in that he's back there is, and he went on to, be fucking Tim Robbins, but I mean, this is the first movie that I can recall seeing him in, which again, I mean, I'm sure he's in a couple things before that, but man, I don't know. I don't think Tim Robbins could have done as good a job as being Goose as Anthony Edwards did.
Oh,
but
no.
I think Tim Robbins could have replaced Goose in that. But I mean, he's really good. Come on, man, get a love of us. He's just really, really good. He does a good
job, and I think most of it I just found funny because he was kind of just back there for the ride at that point. He's like, oh shit, what's going on?
Exactly. And I think it's
I will tell you this, talking about Anthony Edwards, I watched ER all 19, 20 seasons, and Anthony Edwards was always my favorite character on ER as Dr. Green.
Yeah.
And he's always been one of my favorite actors out there, just because his playfulness but seriousness. Very, very fun guy to watch. I'm kind of disappointed in his older age that he just doesn't do much anymore. From
Revenge of the Nerds to ER and everything in between there, I mean, that's a big jump. Funny.
What is? But you got to realize a lot of movies he didn't do because he was spending so much time on the set of ER. I mean, he was on ER for I think at least 12 seasons, and ER had 30 episodes a season. I mean, it's year-round filming, right?
Sure.
So I kind of get it, but I haven't seen him in a long time. He hasn't done anything in a long time.
So I don't remember what talk show that he was on. It was like the Night Show or the Late Show, whatever. So you're talking about his character on ER. Just side note, but he died of cancer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
See, what it is that people are stupid, but also he was so believable with that character. Is that this is after he would died on ER, and I don't remember. He had done something else after ER, but this is a while, maybe a year or two later or something like that. And like Conan or whoever asked him, he's like, so, ER, this, that, and the other. And he was like, oh, like you said, he had a great time and he loved it. And he goes, but what's really, really funny for me is that I'll see people in the streets that are fans of the show and they'll be like, oh my God, I'm so glad to see you got so much better. And it's like, I had fake cancer. I didn't have real cancer. I had fake cancer.
In the late 90s, that show was so much larger than life. I mean, I remember every Thursday, that's, before TiVo and all that stuff, that's where we were. We were watching fucking ER at 9 o'clock.
So now you're telling me you're going to start sucking George Clooney's dick? I mean,
no, of course not. He would.
I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, he's rich and good looking.
The latest stuff that I see that he's done would be maybe Billions. He did a couple of episodes of Billions, but
which is a great show, by the way. If you're not watching that, you should be watching Billions. While you listen to this fucking podcast or watching it, you should be fucking watching Billions instead of listening to this dumb shit.
So anyway, let's jump into casting then. With that being said, obviously I'm not changing out Mr. Anthony Edwards. Tom Cruise, there is I might change him out, although he's almost iconic as this character now. But I had thought a young Dustin Hoffman. We talked about Kevin Costner on the last show. Honestly, you could even put like a Denzel Washington. Honestly, I had thought about him as well.
Too young. Denzel Washington didn't come onto the scene until I believe the movie's called Carbon Copy in like '88. Yeah. But again, Put Denzel Washington in anything. Denzel Washington would play Bill Clinton in a fucking movie. I mean, shit, who gives a shit? I mean, like, no
I'd
problem.
watch that.
Damn right. And then
James
again,
Earl Jones.
well, there's Rob. You could do so many different things. You could do Rob Lowe. I mean,
I've got one.
I think John Cusack would have done it. What do you got, baby?
Well, what do you think about Bosch? Titus Welliver, however you say his name. They're the same age.
Yeah,
And he's badass. We know this.
yeah.
I think he could have done it.
No, they don't deny it at all. But at the same time, though, it's what's like I try to look into when I recast somebody. It's like, was he even acting then, or is he still like in the theater?
Well, I just look at make sure they're like the same age, really.
No, don't get me wrong.
Titus Welliver.
Yeah. Do you not watch Bosch?
Oh,
I haven't. It's on my queue. I haven't started.
Oh my
watching
gosh,
it
it's
yet.
so good. You have to.
he's
And then I also thought about for the girl.
He was not around yet. His first movie was in '90.
Well,
Yeah.
if he got offered this, maybe he would have been around.
no, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's awesome. I could cast him again. The same as
And then I thought
Denzel.
about for the girl.
I mean, he could play Nelson Mandela in a movie.
What do y'all think about for the main girl, Sharon Stone?
Karen McGillis.
I mean,
She's
I'm just
too.
throwing something out there.
The problem with
She's
recasting.
not soft enough. She's not. Sharon Stone's not soft enough for that role. She's
I think she could be though.
no, she can't be that invited. Every time you look at Sharon Stone, she reeks of crazy and non-caring.
Is that why I like her then? Probably.
Look, I never knock
Well,
anybody.
and Taylor, you should like her too then.
I never.
Yeah,
I never,
I didn't say I didn't.
I never try to knock anybody for anybody that they recast.
I'm just throwing some shit out there.
like no, I know. Again, like what I'm saying this is we do this just for fun because again, it all depends on. We don't go and take into account like are they famous yet or budget or scheduling conflicts or what. This is we manage this. So I never tell you that that's a terrible idea at all. Like Taylor just did. Except Taylor just did.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
No. I mean, it's one of those things where like Goose, Maverick, Kelly McGillis. I just didn't really. I mean, just because just to make Taylor have some fun, I could recast Tom Cruise. But again, Tom Cruise. Was already again like he's like 20th on the list, so we could recast him as maybe. I don't think it would be that good. The thing with Kelly McGillis, though, I just wouldn't recast her is because I don't think the movie would be the same without her. Without those three guys, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't recast Val Kilmer either. But I mean, after that, Slider, whatever. The only person I really recast for this movie was Viper, Tom Sherrick, and again, I just went with Scott Glenn from The Right Stuff. And that's not even doing anything super special. I just, what I'm talking about? It's
Tom Glenn?
Scott Glenn.
Oh, I think it's Tom.
No, Scott Glenn. It's just because, again, with this movie, it's such an iconic movie. I could see Scott Glenn doing Viper, even though I did really like Tom Skerritt as it. There's no reason for it.
Oh, he was in Backdraft. I love that movie.
Yes. Oh, he's is he bull or is he ox? Which Kurt Russell's one of them. I think Kurt Russell's.
He's John. He's John.
Yeah, but it's like they all have a nickname.
Oh yeah.
And I can't remember if he's either bull or ox, but Scott Glenn is awesome.
Yeah, I think.
But so Tom Skerritt. But again, like I only recast him in this is because there's no point to. I don't know. This is a very iconic movie to me.
Yes, it is.
It is one of the. If we ever do a show, we had to do top 10 80 movies. Top Gun's going to be in the top 10, and if it's not, and it's not in either one of you two's top 10, go fuck yourselves. For 80s movies, unless we're doing like Cheese or whatever. But I mean, like all-time 80s movies. This is it.
Well, and I mean, if you talk about this movie, people have seen it. They know what the fuck you're talking about. I mean, people just know this movie.
So, I do want to kind of move along from casting to the director, Tony Scott, who I think we've done quite a few of his movies so far. Man on Fire, Deja Vu, and I think a couple others. I think maybe to me the superior of the Scott brothers.
That's exactly what I read here. The best, better than his brother? ? That's
Yes.
which I don't know. I mean, they're both very, very good, and nothing against because I don't think he was Sir Tony Scott before he passed away. But I know Ridley is Sir Ridley Scott. But Tony it's different styles. It seems like Ridley can do Kingdom of Heaven. Is that what it's called with Orlando Bloom? Where he can do kind of like
Ridley's biggest hits are what
Gladiator. Alien. Gladiator.
He does a grander theme, I think, whereas Tony's very good at the action movie.
And that's just bread and butter. I mean,
I go back to Man on Fire. I may even have rated that one low when we did it. It's one of my favorite movies. It's so rewatchable. It's the anti-hero. Top Gun has that same ring to it. It's I'm not going to say relatable, but it's just enjoyable to watch.
What it is that, again, I don't know if it's who edits all his movies or what, because editing is a very big part, but what it is with a Tony Scott film, when they're really, really good, they're really, really good. And you know why? It's because the pace of the movie is just so good. It's just on, and it's likable characters, fun, or, it's not like how Game of Thrones was so good is that, the bad guys were the most evil people on the fucking planet, because that's what brings people together is hate. It's not like or love. It's if we all hate the same thing, that galvanizes us.
Well, that's how I have some of my best friends.
Exactly.
You have me and I hate that bitch too.
Exactly. Whereas, Tony Scott films is
it's facts.
don't get me wrong. But in this Tony Scott film, don't get me wrong. It's not that he has the best bad guys, but he's just got really good characters. But you want them to do well and do good, and also at the same time though, it looks cool. I know we keep touching on this, and maybe one day we'll do it. But Enemy of the State, just the whole satellite imaging that they keep doing constantly.
Oh my God, you love that movie.
You fucking love that movie too. Shut up.
I do.
Exactly. So, but just the way it looks, the same way as Man on Fire, the way it kind of goes in black and forth with blurry and stuff. It's just his style is really, really good. The same way, like you said, with the fighter pilots in this movie, or when the jets are flying. It's the same way when the race cars are going in Days of Thunder. It's almost like weird, good filler that keeps it going.
So,
I don't know.
Let's talk about plot holes. I'll start off with jeans at the volleyball game.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Maybe
nobody in this restaurant is upset about these guys belting out Great Balls of Fire. There's a table of a family that sits behind them that's just kind of acting like it's not happening.
Yeah, sure.
Again, I'm going to try this at East End. I'm going to see what happens.
Well, are you going to wheel a piano in there? Or are you doing, you do the you never close your eyes anymore when
I'm going to
I
start
kill
snapping
my face.
Hey, Casey, if Carter were to hit on you and then you shoot him down and then he comes and follows you into the ladies' restroom, how would you feel?
I would think that was creepy AF. But when I first met him, I didn't turn him down. So there's that.
Microphone drop.
As most of you know, we're the one night stand that never ended.
Okay, all right. I don't think it needs to be out there for everybody, but okay, sure. Yep, damn right. Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it. I mean, it is what it is.
You shouldn't, because, I'll put the news on you.
Oh.
Like Antonio.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas, yes.
Carter, plot holes.
Well, and again, I could go through and tear this movie apart a bunch of different times. I mean, like really, like the buzzing of the tower, which apparently he's done several times. I mean, like he would have been. It's military. He'd have been kicked out of there. The movie would have been over in 35 minutes. Like he buzzed the tower. I want some butts, and I want some butts, and then he comes out and he gets hit with the coffee again. Tom Skerritt wouldn't have, he just stands there's like, I don't have tolerance if you don't follow my rules, and it's like he would have been fuck out of there. Then the goofy tension between Iceman and Maverick because he's friends with Cougar, which also worst call sign ever. Even though Cougar is a mountain lion before, back in the 80s, before it was a an older woman that wanted to fuck a young guy. That's terrible. But
I do like a good cougar.
What's that?
I do like a good cougar.
Yes, but back in the 80s, he was Cougar. But Val Kilmer's good friends with him. He's like, yeah, he was a good man, still is, whatever. And their tension for whatever is like, because he's like, you're a liability. It's like, well, hold on. If you're such good friends with Cougar, did you not realize that Maverick coached him back in onto the aircraft carrier and
saved his life?
Yeah, which the tension there is you got to have tension for the movie, but still at the same time though, it's like that doesn't really make any sense for any reason. Although I'm sure fighter pilots are, I'm sure they're very competitive like race car drivers. Then also back to the just fighter pilots is that. Fighter pilots, I mean, to do what they do, I mean, they're pretty much fearless. And the fact that a MiG locked on to Cougar and the fact that he turned in his wings is like, I was thinking about my wife and kids. It's like, no, they're like Formula One drivers, fighter pilots. They don't have any fucking fear. And if they do, they suppress that shit down.
Not by that point that you're in the plane like that. I think by that point, freezing up is a big, like, unless something crazy happens. So I don't know. I'm kind of with you there.
Yeah, I mean, and then the odd thing after he sings, close your eyes, and then goes in the ladies' room, and then the next day that she comes in and codename Charlie, you don't salute her, but then they have a little bit of interaction in the meeting, and he's like, yeah, I did the impossible thing that you said couldn't be done, and she's like, oh, did you now? And he's like, yeah, you should know. But then Tom Cruise kind of plays hard to get after that. It's like,
that was perfect though.
I hated the scene, and we talked about it earlier. And he's all pissed off because whatever she says, and he's like, I can't hear you. And he's being such a dick.
Oh, with the motorcycle.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
And then she chases after him. Fuck you. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and he's like, are you crazy? Like,
look, she chased after him twice. I'm like, no, ma'am. Never. I would never.
But other than that, I will say that
what a segue.
Two other things real quick. I don't understand where James Tolkien, who is the ballhead, captain of the ship, Back to the Future and several. And he's always a ball buster, and he has one of my favorite quotes. But he tells Tom Cruise, he's like, "You're lucky you're not flying a cargo ship out of Saigon carrying rubber dog shit." And they're like, what is rubber dog shit? It's at the very beginning of the movie when after they land the plane. Yeah, it's like rubber dog shit? Why?
So let's segue that into comments and quotes. I'll start with my favorite quote is always and will always be negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. And just because it's more of an inside joke in in my band camp, we always had this joke where it was something be going on. Someone asked for something, and it was always negative Ghost Rider, and then we would just move on with our day. And so it's just kind of stuck with me since then.
My favorite quote: "I feel the need."
The need for speed. You give me the wrong hand, so we can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go.
There we go.
Yes!
Thank you, Iceman.
Love it.
You guys are adorable.
Thank you. And then I've got one little tidbit of info because I was looking some stuff up, and I thought this was entertaining. So apparently, the real Top Gun school, if any staff quotes the movie, they get fined $5. It's like, okay. I thought that was interesting. On to you.
So he said quotes or comments. Real quick comment is that as cheesy as it is, but I still love it. I love when they fuck with the blue background and that Berlin song "Take My Breath Away" is playing. That's just fucking awesome.
Take my breath away.
So we're gonna have to, because I can turn these lights blue right here. We're gonna have to, take care of that at some point in time.
Whoa.
And we went all blue. Take my breath away.
Let Taylor do the singing.
Whatever. Shut up. All right. So there's. I got you since you negative Ghost Rider. The pattern's full. I did. Not that it's quotable. I really did like. They come out of the Tom Sherrick's office, Viper's office. The first time we say. Goose is like, "Thank you, man. I really appreciate that right there." Oh, God bless. Maybe I should be a truck driver. Hey, do you have that number? What was it called? Truck Masters? What was that thing? And again, it's not really quotable, but I always did really like that. Maybe I should be just a truck driver.
I'm with you on the photography quote too. When they take the picture of the MiGs, I should be a professional photographer.
Yes. Man, this is really good, man. I should be a photographer. But after that, the two quotes, one's kind of serious and one's just funny to me. The serious one is, "If you think up there, you're dead." I really like that one for quote of the movie. But really, I guess the one that will stick out with me, aside from negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full, is your ego is writing checks your body can't cash. I mean, even when I was a kid, when I saw that right at the beginning of the movie, because again, bald-headed dude, James Tolkien, he's just such a ball break. 200 miles, get him out of here! Like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't even.
He's in the movie for not a long time, but he's
he's
good.
He's really good, but yeah, again, he's
also the most intense smoker of a cigar that I think I've ever seen.
Whoa.
He's up there. I mean, but yeah, that's that old like war veteran. Like, I'll keep this cigar in my mouth all day long. It's not even lit. It's almost
it's just having it in your mouth and not holding it and just talking. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's almost like a dip or something.
Ew, dip is so gross.
Ew, dip is so gross.
Ew,
gross.
All right. Well, so let me take us out here so we can end and move on with today. So thank you for joining us, and hopefully everybody watched Top Gun. If you haven't, go watch it. We are on the gram, plot.off.the.press. We are on Spotify, and we are on YouTube, mostly YouTube these days because it's a pain to do both Spotify and YouTube. But please like and subscribe so that one day we can quit our jobs and do this permanently.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. I'm ready to retire.
It's not going to happen. We can work on the show more.
It'd be much more entertaining if we could just do the show.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Nothing else, would be a lot drunker.
Woo!
On the other side of that, next week, tune in. It's a big deal. I'm back in Memphis, so we're going to have a
live show, baby. Live show.
Woo!
I'm excited to see my friends here, but I'm more excited to see Boodog and Lil Biscuit. So,
hey, they're resting up for you right now. They're both sleeping.
I know. I'm excited. So tune in next week. It's going to be great. I think we're doing Stargate and Galaxy Quest. which
Super nerd weekend in honor of Taylor coming in town.
It is a very nerdy weekend. So thank you, and until next time, bye-bye.
Peace out.